Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another 3 looks 1 palette video, and this is on the new Wet n Wild Rosé In The Air palette. This is a beautiful palette. I love it so much. It came out I think a couple months ago, but it's still relatively new. It's actually like a really great dupe for the Anastasia Modern Renaissance. This is a fraction of the price and it's really similar. So anyways, I'm going to be doing 3 looks with this palette. The first one's going to be this rosy, very toned smoky eye. The second look is going to be a more cool-toned, kind of taupey, smoky winged liner look. And last but not least, the last look is going to be more of a classy, glam, warm eye. So if you guys want to know how to get these 3 looks, then let's just hop right into it. The first look is going to be the berry toned smoky eye, so I'm going to start out by using this warm, kind of orangey transition shade. And you can see right here how much product actually gets picked up on the brushes. These eyeshadows are a really soft formula, so you kind of have to be careful for the fallout. But anyways, I'm just going to blend this right into the crease using a blending brush by Smith Cosmetics, and I'm just going to blend this across the entire crease. Once that's on, I'm going to take a clean blending brush. This is by Sugar Pill, and I'm just going to use this to blend out the very tops of the crease. So now going in with this orange shade, and I'm taking this on a shorter, kind of more dense blending brush, and I'm just taking a little bit of this on the top, tapping off the excess to decrease the fallout, and I'm going to first apply this in the outer half of the crease, focusing most of the product there, and then once most of the product is on, I'm going to actually start blending it towards the inner part of the crease, so it's a little more pigmented on the outer part of the crease. I'm also extending this down onto my lid a little bit, but just in the outer V or so of the lid. I'm not going to blend this too far over. And then once again taking that clean Sugar Pill blending brush and just helping these 2 crease colors blend together a little bit better. So now going in with a lid shade, and I'm taking this on a little packing brush by BH Cosmetics, and I'm taking this really pretty pinky berry tone. This one was actually not as soft and pigmented as the others in the palette, or at least most of the other eyeshadows, but I feel like that's kind of a thing with pink eyeshadows. It's sometimes hard to make them as soft and pigmented. I don't know why. It was a little bit dry, but it's fine once you like build it up. It actually looks really pretty. So I'm just packing this all over the lid. There was a bit of fallout, so I am sweeping that away. And now I'm just taking a little bit more on that smaller blending brush, and I'm blending part of this pink into the crease, but I'm not blending it up as far as the orange because you don't really want to cover those colors that you already put down. And then last but not least, once again, taking that blending brush, just blending everything together. There are a lot of steps of blending with smoky eyes. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm just going to go right in with that pink, and I'm taking a really light amount of it on this fluffy little pencil brush, and I'm just blending this across the entire lower lash line, and I'm also making sure that it blends and connects up with the pink on the upper lid. And then going back in with that transition shade, I'm just taking a tiny bit on this blending brush and just blending out that lower lash line. So for the inner corner, I'm just taking this light icy shade, and this is the only one that really works as an inner corner highlight for my eyes and my skin tone, but I actually really like this. I'm glad that they included this in the palette because it's the perfect inner corner highlight. And that's it for look number 1. This one was super easy. It's just really pretty with that pink berry tone. I liked it a lot. Most of the shadows worked really well and blended really well together. So moving on to look number 2, this one is the more cool toned look with the smoky liner, and I'm taking this cool tone transition shade over on the other side. I'm taking this on a more dense blending brush, and I'm just going to be mapping out kind of like this outer V shape, a little bit like maybe halfway over into the crease and then extending it down onto the lash line. Then I'm taking some on a more soft blending brush, and I'm kind of just blending that out. I'm also bringing it kind of messily across the entire upper lash line just to make a base for the winged smoky liner that we're going to be doing. I decided I wanted to make it a little more purple, so I'm taking that light dusty purple color and I'm just blending this over the top of what we just put down. And I also decided to kind of sweep this across the entire lid just to give it more color. And then taking that handy dandy Sugar Pill blending brush that's clean and just blending everything out a bit. So moving on to this dark brown here, I'm taking it on an angled brush, and I'm going to use this to map out the liner. You guys, this is my least favorite shadow in the palette. It was so dry. It's so weird. You just kind of have to play around with it to get what I'm saying, but it's like it didn't want to stick to my lid. It's like it just wanted to fall off the brush and not really do much, so I had to spend quite a bit of time building it up to make it look noticeable as liner. But anyways, I'm just creating this like winged eyeliner shape and going across my entire lash line. And I'm also taking this fluffy little pencil brush, and I'm using this to soften the liner on the lid, so it's more strong on the wing point and it's more of like a light brown on the lid. And then going in with this black eyeliner pencil, and I'm putting a little bit of that on an eyeliner brush by Smith Cosmetics, And I'm just going to focus this on the outer edge or the outer point of the wing. We're going to be doing like a gradient liner, so you want it to go from like a light brown eyeshadow to a medium brown to the black pencil. And then I'm taking a little bit more of that dark brown eyeshadow and I'm running that over the edge of the black liner so it blends in a little bit better. So now moving on to the lower lash line, I'm just going to take that first transition shade that we used and I'm just going to blend this about halfway across. And then I'm going back in with that dark brown on a tiny little detail brush and I'm applying this still about halfway across, but I'm really hugging this up tight close to the lashes. And then last but not least, just going in with that same inner corner highlight. And I am applying some false lashes, and that is it for look number 2. This one definitely took a little bit longer because of that dark brown that was hard to work with. I feel like the warm toned eyeshadows in this palette are a lot easier to work with, at least in my opinion, but I still really do like how this look turned out. Alright, so now last but not least, look number 3, I went for something a little more dramatic. So this is like kind of like a cut crease warm smoky eye. So we're starting again with that warm tone transition. I'm just going to blend this across the entire crease like we did with the first look, and also blending just a tiny bit down in the outer corner of my lid. So now taking some concealer, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm just using this to carve out the first half or maybe like 2/3 of my lid all the way up to my crease. This is just going to act as a base for the shimmery eyeshadow that we're putting on later. So speaking of which, I'm taking this shimmery champagne color on a little packing brush, and I'm just patting this across the entire area where we put down that concealer. If you want to use a wet brush for this, you can. I didn't because I didn't feel like I needed to. This eyeshadow looked pretty decent on its own without wetting the brush, but I also did go over it with my finger just to apply a little bit more eyeshadow and make it look a little bit more pigmented. So now I'm taking a little bit more of this darker orange in the palette on that short little dense blending brush, and I'm applying this right over where the champagne lid color and the transition shade meet. So this is going to kind of blend the two of those together. I'm also blending this just slightly up into the crease, but I'm not blending it over too far. I'm really just focusing it right above where we put it on the lid. Now I'm going to grab that pink berry tone color and I'm just going to apply this on the very, very outer corner of the lid, right beside where we put that orange, and I'm just going to kind of like simultaneously blend the pink and the orange together. Also blend the pink into the crease just a little bit like we did with the orange. I'm just going to take a little bit more of that orange, just like a tiny bit, and blend it over the lid a little bit more to blend those two colors together, and then also take a clean fluffy blending brush and just blend the crease out one more time. Something I like to do is take my beauty blender that has a little bit leftover foundation on it and clean up the under edges of that eyeshadow to make it a little more sharp. And now I'm just going back in with that transition shade on this fluffy pencil brush, blending it all the way across the lower lash line and then blending that out with a clean fluffy brush. And then going back in with the pink on a tinier brush and just focusing that right up close to the lashes, kind of like we did with the last look, and then blending everything out again. So I'm going to go back in with that orange that we used in the outer corner, and I'm going to take that on a really tiny brush, and I'm just taking this along the crease right above that lid color, and this is going to make it look more like a harsh difference between the lid color and the crease. So now just applying some lashes. These are the House of Lashes Iconics, which are some of my favorite pairs. And then actually going over just the inner portion of my eye with some eyeliner and also covering the lash band just to make it a little less noticeable. And that is it for look number 3. So that's it for the 3 looks 1 palette video using the new Wet n Wild Rosé In The Air palette. I hope you guys like this one. If you've tried this palette, let me know your thoughts on it. Like I said, I do really like it. The cool tone shadows are just a little bit harder to work with, but I really love the warm tone shadows in this palette, and I think it's awesome for the price. It's just so good. Like, Wet n Wild has really been stepping up their game with products over the last few years. Anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye!